And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SCC. Now, AJ, we got 2 games left, potentially. Oh, well, no, we absolutely have 2 games left. We've got
Minimum. Yep.
Papis versus Smileyface, and we got Picarinubes versus Smileyface. Puppies are in a bit of a rough spot right now.
Extremely rough spot.
Yes, if they lose this game, they're confirmed to be 5th seed, and they are not going to make it to the playoffs.
No, so this is before when they were playing up against Belslap earlier today, we said it was a do or die situation for them to, avoid this situation, and now it's even worse for them because this is a must-win game. Otherwise, their season is over. And then we have 2 teams who I wouldn't have chosen to finish in 3rd seed, fighting it out for 3rd seed between the Picarinubes and Smileyface. We see Picarinubes earlier, about that 40-minute slugfest. Fatigue could be sitting in here for the Papis. The draw has not been favorable to them to allow them a break between, their set versus Belt Slap and now. But you just have to roll with the punches. You just have to go with it and see exactly how it pans out for you. This is the time where all good teams stand up and be accounted for.
Well, let's hope Papis can do that. Let's see a little bit of a difference in their draft this time around as we go into picks and bans for this game. Let's say game number 1, but all of these are game number 1 because there is only one game, and that game is Smite.
Well, Smileyface are going to be the order side for this game. The Pappy is going to be Chaos. It'll be interesting to see if any ban changes do happen from the Pappies, if any pick changes do happen as well, if they look to just get rid of the Ra. Or whether they look to just do something else entirely, because we do still have Persephone taken off the table, Tsukiyomi early on from Smileyface as well.
Well, I think these are pretty common bans. Puppies have been known to kind of play around with the Tsukiyomi a little bit. I don't think it's particularly a favorable pickup for them, but there's Chekio's Ra. Smileyface is paying attention, so that's really good to hear. I think Chekio's really, really good on the Ra, as I said last game. I don't think I would have minded him going back onto it, but maybe it'll be good for him to switch it up, try something a little bit different that he can't just be fully dived onto. They are going to ban the Thoth away as well, so a lot of targeting here at Chekio.
If there's one thing I want to see for the Pappies, it's pick up the damn Cupid. And if people want to find me for saying that word, I'll be more than happy to, because it's just frustrating to see that Cupid is available for the Pappies. It's a nightmare pick for them, for any team that goes up against the Pappies to deal with, and it's just like, nah, let's not take it. Let's go for something else. It's got a good matchup into Ram. You can force Ram to play passively. You can force Ram to play defensively. Just pick it up. Maybe not in top 2, but please, in your top 3, pick up Cupid. Please.
Well, once again, it's open. Ram has been put on the board.
Early game aggression. I like it.
Hercules so far. The set. I hope this isn't War Cheese set.
I hope this is
jungle. As we saw against Belt Slap. I hope this is going to go to Marcus in the jungle. I think it would probably be a decent pickup for Marcus in the jungle. Stressing the jungle here.
Absolutely. I want to see it go into the jungle. I want to see it built as a bruiser. I want to see a Frostbound Hammer on this set. And I want to see it being the secondary engagement. Let Hercules walk in there, suck up some damage, suck up a couple of ultimates, and get out with his life. Barely, because Smileyface is going to build anti-heal. And then let Set just waltz in afterwards with Kingslayer when the relics are down from Merlin, the relics are down from Ram, and clean house.
But see, I really like this from Smileyface. Merlin, I think, is a pretty decent player into the set. He can flicker
He's
away.
really good at set.
He doesn't need to worry. He's got a lot of self-peel in the slows, in the pull from the 2 in the void stance. He's got the fire, which, well, I mean, if death was a CC, Merlin has plenty of that. But Puppies are going to choose to run this Giannis. We just saw them get minced by it, by Picarinubes, so hopefully this works out for them about as well as it did for Picarinubes. Giannis, I think, is one of those jank picks that kind of works best in these one at a times, and I see what you're frowning at, AJ. Why don't you clarify it for us?
That looks to be a Thanatos. Sorry, I just had to adjust my invisible glasses to see exactly what that ban was. But yeah, it is a Thanatos ban, so obviously something's gone down in scrims to see that the Thanatos have been rising up in popularity a bit more. Maybe just that execute when they have some anti-heal on the rest of your team really helps to deal with the set, deal with the Janus, deal with this Hercules. I just don't see it. I would much rather see something like a Darji ban. Darji does a lot better against the Janus, against the set as the Hercules. You force out those ultimates early, well, Smileyface going to ban it themselves.
Yeah, well, I gotta agree with you here. I don't think it's the best ban. I mean, maybe they're just scared of it, but Kepri's already banned, so it's not like they're banning against Execute so that they can pick up the Kepri. They're gonna opt for the Nike, who I don't think is in a great spot right now, thanks to the changes to shields. She does a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but when she ults, she's kind of just a sitting duck, because someone just sunders her shield's gone, and I mean, what do you do with a shieldless Nike? So we'll have to see what Smileyface is going to respond with, but so far I'm really not liking this draft from Papis.
I mean, I like the early game aggression that it brings. You're obviously having Hercules to dictate the early pressure in the duo lane. The set does well, from levels about 2 all the way up to level 9 is where he's at his strongest. Janus can help facilitate him getting in and out of these fights. Nike should have solo lane on lockdown, shouldn't really win it against the Cthulhu, but shouldn't lose it either. I'm just gonna... So, we have a set ADC, we have a Nike jungle and Bellona solo, or we have the double warrior dual lane of Hercules Bellona running it down. It's early game, it's aggressive.
I mean, let's go to game to confirm it, but I'm pretty sure this is Warchi on the set. There's no actual ADC on the board at the moment. It is going to be Warchi on the set, Draco Marino on the Hercules, Marcus in the jungle with the Nike, and Creed coming up against Bevy Monster in that solo lane on the Bellona. Now, Bellona's matchup into Cthulhu is bad. Cthulhu has a lot of ways to interrupt or otherwise prevent the bludgeon from attacking anything. So, I'm interested to see how Creed's going to deal in that duo lane. In the solo lane. Does pick up a Hog to probably clear up his blue buff a little quicker by himself. Potentially get that quick early game lead and see what he can do from there. But the blink in from Draco Marino. Gonna try and separate himself from... Oh no! Pushed under tower by Agent, and now the shots from Ekrom are gonna do some damage. Warchi also taking a fair amount. Slow of the Astral Arrow isn't quite gonna mark it, but low half HP from Draco Marino before the lane even meets. He's gonna be taking a lot of damage from this lane, I'm absolutely assured. And AJ, I'm pretty sure any early game aggression that Papis were hoping to get has just disappeared.
It has done, and I was honestly expecting Agent and Ekrom to position themselves a lot better to get the body box underneath tower. They still can get the aggression here with Marcus rotating over. Agent could be the target call. Ekrom going to be forced to use his beats early. Again, tower shots taken, and look who's coming over. It's the Erlong Shen, a much better level 2 warrior in the jungle.
Stop getting between the turtle and his tower. You will go under his tower, because that is where he wants you.
No
Warchi is also going to fall down here. And I'm at a bit of a loss for words here, AJ.
If you wanted a game to start poorly and have a difficult time to come back into it, look no further for an example of how it should be done. This is... You can say it's a bit unfortunate with Draco Marino going aggressive onto Ekron getting pushed under tower, but that's what you get if you're playing against a Kuzumbo. You could say that they've done well to force Ekron to use his beads early, But you also then get the aggressive rotation from Ferrari, because you're playing aggressive into their jungle. Of course, they're going to come over and look to defend their own purple buff. It's almost as if Papis are. I don't want to say they are, but with the way they were playing there, it's either tilt factor or it's them just disrespecting Smileyface.
I mean, honestly, I can't. I'm with you. I don't want to say Papis are tilting, because, as you said, Warchi is a seasoned leader, a seasoned player at every single level, has witnessed the highs and lows, and he should be able to maintain a level of calm over his team, but I'm not seeing that right now, and what else am I not seeing? I'm not seeing Warchi's health bar, and I probably won't be seeing Draco Marino's one very soon, once Agent gets his pushback in just a few seconds here, but the blink from Draco Marino just narrowly avoids the auto attack from Agent there. And boy howdy, is this some sort of fiesta involving comical figures.
Nah, that's just what happens when you're up against a Kuzenbo. That you're expected to be pushed through minions consistently, and if you don't have beads, you are just dead. I mean, Watcher even has Warrior's Blessing, and he just got evaporated because of it.
But why?
And it's just unbelievable.
But why does he have Warrior's Blessing, AJ? Rationalize this for me, please.
Because he's looking to fight often, and he's going to take a lot of minion damage. He wants to just be able to poke out with some abilities. Look who's back. It's a Ferrari.
Ferrari, zoom, W key. There's a two-man taunt. There's a two-man knockup. Watchy's dead.
Jesus.
My Marianne. That was a slaughter. Okay, AJ. Let me put this to you in a way that I can. Papis are going to have a very, very tough road to get back into this game. But where can they start looking?
I mean, well, one thing which is going well for them is the fact that solo lane hasn't gone as disastrously as the left-hand side of the map has. Mid lane is still doing quite well for them. Like, jungle is behind. Needs to look for some farm of her own, needs to look to secure their own farm. But to do that, I think they need to start playing through Creed and Chekio. As we've seen, Chekio's been having good performances throughout the day on the Ra, now being forced into the Yanis instead. I'm thinking just play through the Yanis. Just look to rotate with him, look to utilize the fact that he's going to be building into quite a bursting build throughout the mid game. Your plan for the early game has failed. The Hercules was meant to drive you through that early game. He's been driven into the grave in the early game. Just give the baton to somebody else at this point.
Yeah, it's I got to agree with you there. Definitely got to start looking to make some plays elsewhere. Maybe look to see Draco Marino start rotating, and that is what he's doing. He's in the mid lane at the moment, looking to cause some shenanigans potentially over at this red buff, but no, he's just vibing around at the speed of, well, not quite sound. Creed, as I said, he's struggling over here on this right-hand side. Baby Monster's got all the pressure. Not really too much that can be done about it. Agent is going to get pressured out a little bit here in mid. He'll take a little bit of damage there from Chekio, but honestly, he's a big tanky turtle. He's not too fussed, but looking from the left side jungle is Ferrari. He's actually now looking towards this purple buff. Agent is still in a bit of a weird spot. The ultimate is expended there from Draco Marino, which I suppose is a win for Agent?
I mean, it also, as you saw there, hang on, it's just as a Gagas goes on over on this left-hand side, bit of miscommunication there as well. I was expecting the turtle knockup to happen as the snipes are coming out. But back into that mid lane fight, you saw the portal come out from Chekio as Draco Marino throws his boulder. That speaks to me that they're not communicating about the CC that they want to use in the chain. Otherwise, it would have been portal, then as he's dropping down, boulder comes out, or boulder happens, portal afterwards. They're overlapping their CCs and damage. That doesn't happen with the Papis. That is not what they do.
Yeah, it's, oh! Well, Gunter's gonna get hit by the snipe. It's gonna do absolutely nothing to him other than maybe singe off a couple armpit hairs, but he's gonna get hit by it, so that's maybe a morale boost for Chekio. He's thinking, I still got this, but here, hey, gonna jump straight into it, but soloed over on the left-hand side is Warchi, which, if the morale of the mid laner was going up from that snipe, the morale of the ADC is going down, 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 down.
A 0-4 right now on the set ADC, 3 levels behind, hasn't even started stacking his Transcendence. Echrome already at 29 stacks of his Devourer's Gauntlet. Rotate set out somewhere else. Make Warchi the jungler at this point. Give Marcus the lane to try and, farm in. Creed needs to go somewhere else. Hoping he was somewhere else other than underneath his own tower. In comes Marcus to try and help out with the Cthulhu and the Erlang Shen issue. And does just that. Enough pressure applied.
Luckily for Creed, as you said, the rotation is going to be good, but Agent's here now, and Ferrari looks like he could be a little bit hungry, so looking for the Marcus in the jungle, but Creed takes a step out. Ferrari, there's the blink forward, catches the dash with the taunt, and the damage is going to be good. Down falls Creed. Just takes a step too far forward. No vision in the jungle. I guess he assumes that Ferrari and Agent have left already back towards that mid lane, but blink in, taunt, dead, and now Warchi is probably going to die here. Ekrom just needs to hit one. There it is.
0-5.
So, set, huh?
Set ADC works if you give him pressure in the early game and if you are able to babysit him, because teams will want to try and relieve that pressure. That has not happened here for the Papis whatsoever. In fact, the opposite has happened. And Chrome is just able to rotate and do what he wants to do until he's finally shut down. Finally, the Papis breathe life into their game.
Well, I'd say breathe life. I think potentially a momentary blip in their death as Marcus is actually able to blink away. So actually, it's going to be a lot better of a trade for Papis than I initially thought. We get the 1-for-1. Chekio looking for Gunter. Just needs to hit one shotgun, but blink away should be good for Gunter. Can Chekio hit the 2? There it is. It's going to be a little bit more of a morale boost for Chekio. Agent's going to do a little ring around the roses, but mid laner has next to no mana, is able to find a portal, but he's not got any mana left to his name. Pin is down from Ferrari, and the slow's going to be able to be enough of a deterrent to make the jungle turn around.
Yeah, Blink's not available for Ferrari, otherwise I definitely think he would have gone for it. Bevy, unable to secure the blue buff, but is still wanting to just fight. Deny Creed the opportunity to pick it up. He might actually get a kill here. Just continue around the corner. Oof. Comes out of his ultimate at the worst possible moment for himself.
Is a little bit unfortunate, but it doesn't look like Creed is in any rush to back. Uses the Mire on the Nike, though, so no kill potential there, and Creed is going to find his way back into his base nice and safe and sound, so no problem there. And more farm there for Smileyface, 9-2 at the moment with only a 2k lead. So, at the very least, Papis have been able to find the farm outside of these fights. And it's not like they're falling disastrously behind, but the places that they are behind, for example, in the jungle, they are behind hard.
It feels worse than it looks. Like, the lead honestly feels like it is about 6k at this point, when, as you said, in actuality, it's about 2.5k. Papis definitely still in this one, but the momentum, definitely with Smileyface, the momentum is this intangible force that just drives games towards one way, even if you do have one person popping off. If the momentum's not on their side, you can just be getting pentakills left, right, and center. So will the other team. They will find a way to counteract and better it, just because they have the momentum.
Well, you can see backing there with the SMITE World Championship logo under his feet. That is where Ferrari wants to be right now. And if he wins this game, he's one step closer to a path that could lead him just there. As, well, it's looking like this game could definitely go the way of Smileyface. Papis, though, as you said, the lead looks a lot worse than it is. So definitely have a chance to come back into this. But Ekrom and Agent are waiting for Draco Marino as he comes through the portal. Chekio did provide that to him, but now Oracles are going to go the way of Smileyface, giving them that free vision, and Gold Fury is going to be started back up here, but do you think that this is a good move from Smileyface, or is this a little risky?
This from Chekio's call. I mean, Warchi cannot come into this fight whatsoever, and they've got a Merlin, as well as 2 basic attack-based gods, so yeah, I love that call from Smileyface. I love the commitment that they did as well. They knew that Chekio was at that red buff because they saw him on the wards leading up to the red buff. They knew he was around that area, so they knew the snipe was going to be difficult to judge on time. It was just a perfect play from Smileyface, and it goes unpunished.
Well, speaking of being punished, Draco Marino's dead. That's
not quite yet.
Next conversation. Oh, wait. Gets out here.
There we go.
No. Next conversation, please. Okay. What is the strat here for Papis? I know I asked you this earlier on, and you said to play through the Anus. They tried that. Chekio's 2-0-0. But it doesn't feel like Papis are playing around Chekio. It feels like Chekio is playing and putting Papis into his backpack.
Do you want an honest, brutal opinion of what the plan should be? Or do you want the, the voice of hope sort of analysis?
I want your true thoughts, AJ. I don't want the sugary sweetness. Give me the thoughts.
Okay, brutal, honest truth time for here for the Papis. Better luck next year. It's just not happening this year. Like this has just been a nightmare split for them from start to finish. It's been stuttering, it's been disjointed, it's just been not the standard which any of them will hold themselves to as individuals and as a team, as a collective. And it's just culminated on this one day where it's reached its low point. You're not really gonna come back from this sort of depth of performance dip. You need to just reset and hope that next year it doesn't happen again.
Well, hopefully, trying to keep the dream alive up. Papis is once again, Warchi is going to fall down. Ekram could be in a bit of trouble here as he is actually going to fall. Marcus takes credit for the kill, but Draco Marino should be the next target here, and Marcus is getting rubbed up against the wall. Gunter nearly falls down as well, as Chekio really is trying to hoist the rest of the Papis up onto his back. Gunter trying to run away for dear life. The Rend is going to be good enough to take him down. So far, so good, as Ferrari is going to find one more. Agent looks like he could fall down here as well. It's going to be a 3-for-3 trade, and the first time Papis look like they're in a commanding position. However, turning around goes Ferrari, beating the portal, makes him try to pull through it. Chekio is caught by the pin, but he is able to find himself away. Chekio trying to find spin to win, but the knockup from Bevy Monster is going to help him out. Chekio now not being spotted out by Ferrari. Ferrari, here's the track pad being placed down on the floor. The zoom mat, if you will. And Bevy could actually fall down here. That's an unofficial deicide for the Papis, AJ.
Fortunately, there's nothing really much they can get off that. They give themselves light, they give themselves hope, they give themselves the ability to turn around to each other and say, see, we can win fights, we can do this, we can make this composition work, we can make the world's run happen still. That's the fight that they needed to have. I honestly didn't see that fight happening, but Chekio was allowed to live for far too long during that fight. A lot was expended onto Warchi at the beginning, and the couple of adjustments for the Papis in the fight, those weren't adjustments that they even really made. That was just Smileyface, overexerting on one god and underexerting on the other. It's just given the Papis the blueprints that they need to follow for the rest of the game.
I feel like it was a bit of a wasted effort to get Warchi out in the fight, regardless of target priority. Sure, if Warchi is even a level ahead, like a level behind Ekron at this point, maybe it's the play. But at the moment, Warchi is level 14. He is behind everyone else on the map but Draco Marino and Agent. And
I like the call for the Papis, so Pyro gonna be looked to be baited here.
potentially. Although, if our last game is anything to go by, they don't really want to commit to this so much. As, yep, just a little bit of pressure here from Agent and Bevy are going to discourage the Papis from their little attempt. However, in the mid-hand side, blinking in goes Ferrari, trying to do some damage. 3-man knock-up! Oh my goodness, the damage is devastating, raining in from the heavens! Where did they go? Papis were here 1 minute, and they've disappeared the next. Marcus, the lone survivor, and he might not even be that in a second or two, as Ferrari is going to mow him down. The dash comes back up, the tower falls down, and Smileyface... If there was a coffin, look at this taunt, AJ. Look at that 3-man fall into this 3-man knockup and the devastation that just rained down onto the Papis. The tier 2 tower's gone. The Phoenix is probably going to fall down here as well. Creed is going to make the same end in just a moment, unless he can dash away. Knockup is going to be good, but potentially Baby Monster's just got the damage to take him out, and that's exactly what he's got. 2-man push there by Draco Marino. It's going to be pretty decent, but the Phoenix is going to fall. They claim yet another kill, and, well, as I was about to say, if this was a coffin,
No, he's not
that would be a pretty big nail.
Warchi going aggressive by himself. He's caught out between absolutely everybody once again. Takes a lot of damage for his trouble. Is forced back into base. Stops the backs from the members of Smileyface for a brief while. As does Chekio, so they're delaying some of the builds coming out. They're giving themselves just that extra bit of time, and every second counts here for the Papis. They have to wait until they are even in terms of experience, in terms of items, before they could even potentially think about winning some of these fights. Because you can see the experience difference is the big key factor here. Over 10,000, and if one of those graphs hits over 10,000, it's borderline impossible to win a fight without the team that's ahead messing up royally. If both of the graphs are above 10,000, it's most likely going to be the cause of a game over very soon.
Yeah. It's, putting it politely, it's looking dire for the Papis at the moment, as you know it's looking bad when your solo laner's getting chunked that hard by a Cthulhu 20 minutes into the game. Primal Fury is getting started up here by Smileyface, and...
What do you mean started up?
Yeah, what do I mean started up? It's already down, and the rest of the farm around the map should be following suit pretty rapidly, as I would assume Smileyface are now heading over to this right-hand side, potentially looking for the gank onto Bologna, but probably instead just going to take the Pyromancer and then set up for this Fire Giant fight.
So, yep, Pyromancer going to fall down as well. Chekio getting what he can in terms of farm in mid lane, clearing out those 5 minions between the tier 1 and tier 2 tower. Fire Giant has been started up, already down to half health, and the Papis looking to fight. Chekio wrapped all the way around the back. Could be a big pincer here from the Papis. If he gets caught out, he's just dead. No support around him. And same could be said for Draco Marino.
When Excavate does no damage to a squishy, you know that is a bad sign. As 2 players back-to-back killed there by Ekrom, as the ult from Drake, from one of them, from Chekio, found it in the end, whiffs completely. Not able to find any targets. That's going to open up the Fire Giant for Smileyface. And, well, statistically speaking, if this game wasn't already looking bad, most games are won by the first Fire Giant. First Fire Giant goes down, that team normally wins the game. And I don't think Papis are really in a position to start defying stats.
They have the Papis factor, which is they just win one team fight every single game, no matter what. It's got to come true at some point for them if they don't have any hopes of, not ending up as 5th seed. This entire year, between the 4 splits, they have finished 4th seed in the first split. Not good enough to qualify for the first split finals, but also avoids relegation spots, so just in that limbo. Second split, they finished 2nd. They take a set off of Beltslap on those SCC finals. They eventually lose the finals to Beltslap, but they do what no team had done before. Split 3, they again finish 2nd seed, and the Split 3 finals is where we saw a turning point for them. They didn't really show up. they got swept aside by the Snake Pit, not just once, but twice. And then the split 4, it looks like they're going to go ahead and finish in 5th seed. Lowest position they finished, and it's just been that decline from that point. Has just gotten gradually worse and worse and worse for them. And it is honestly heartbreaking to see, because it's a team that's, you know, it's been a community fan favorite throughout as much time as they've been together. And it's never fun to see a team just collapse like this to their season.
It is absolutely heartbreaking. I was going to use the exact same words as Ekrom and the gang are going to start barreling down. Coming in from behind is Chekio. Probably the only man left on Papis with something to say. Can he and he alone bring back this game? I don't think he can, AJ. Titan's already at half HP. Titan is already dead. And Papis are facing relegations.
Papis, it was a good run. We salute you. May Godspeed.
AJ, do you want to break down that game? What can we say about the game that we didn't already say in game?
Okay, so just to reiterate some of the main points, don't pick set ADC unless you are almost guaranteed to get the pressure over on that side and steamroll and babysit the left-hand side of the jungle. Let's see, what else? Nike jungle has had her day. It's not really the strongest pick. I would much rather have seen an assassin in that role. I think the rest of the draft was completely fine from the Papis, but it just looked like the communication wasn't there.
Yeah, it's a shame. Like, as you said, I think Cupid has been left open in all but one of the games that we've seen them playing tonight.
So, yeah.
And I don't know, maybe Warchi is just sick of playing it. Maybe he wanted to try something new. Maybe he wanted to prove that he could play more than just the Cupid, but yeah.
Chekio could also have played it, considering Chekio, you know, he was one of the reasons why it was, you know, banned away from him, because they could flex it to the mid lane.
Yeah, it's, I mean, even if it's not so much of a common pick in the mid lane nowadays, we saw it a lot last split, obviously, mainly from players like Baskin, but this split, it hasn't been necessarily favored in the mid lane. We've seen a lot more Thoth, a lot more Merlin, a lot more Ra. But it's still one of those picks that is still pretty strong. If I'm not mistaken, they haven't really nerfed Cupid, more so just buffed the other options. So pulling it out in a game like this, in this 1v1, one game only, mano a mano situation, could have been the linchpin that Papis needed to give himself a little ray of light, you know, but it is just a shame. It's a shame.
Well, from one disappointing end to a potential beginning, Smileyface, the team that looked like they were going to be the closest team to taking a set off of Belt Slap, they find themselves with a unique opportunity. Beat fellow SOC promotion, you know, team in the terms of Pickery Noobs 2, and you find yourself with a qualification chance to Worlds.
Yeah, absolutely. The next game is going to be huge. AJ, 2 teams, 1 game, and 1 chance to make the run for Worlds. Stay right where you are, ladies and gents. We'll be back in just a few minutes.